Hello there. Thanks for joining us to talk about your elevator pitch and approaching employers for the Job and Internship Fair this spring 2025. My name is Christina Sincere, and I'm going to be talking with you about how to craft your elevator pitch and making sure that you are having a productive time at the fair. So let's go ahead and jump into a little bit about what we're going to be going over today. So today we're going to be learning about what an elevator pitch is, when an elevator pitch should be used, how to create an effective elevator pitch, and tips for approaching employers at the fair, as well as some other helpful resources. So your elevator pitch is, it's a short professional introduction. So really 30 to 60 seconds, really you're not going to go over a minute. Honestly, if we think about the amount of time 30 seconds is, it's quite a lot. So don't panic, feeling like you have to fill a bunch of time. But we do want to make sure that we're going over a quick story about yourself that conveys your skills, experiences, and goals. That way, we get the attention of the recruiter or hiring manager. You create this professional connection and grab their attention and hopefully be memorable. So really, this is to start a conversation briefly. And why are we calling it an elevator pitch? Well, think of yourself if you were randomly in an elevator with someone and you're just kind of chatting with them, you realize, oh, wait, this actually could be someone that I want to make a professional connection with. And you have a very, very short amount of time as you go from the first floor to the fourth floor. You have to make that big impression quickly. So, with that, basically your pitch should be targeted at your audience, short, sweet, to the point, and interesting. So, what are those key components of an elevator pitch? We're going to start out with an introduction. Who are you? Introduce yourself with your name, your majors, minors, academic programs, interests or affiliations to campus. This could be clubs and organizations, honor societies, um, just things that you are involved with that you think will make you stand out or be of interest to the employer. Background of accomplishments. So this would be a really brief summary of skills, experience. So we're looking for like your two or three really big, very relevant items to the thing that that employer does. So whether that is work or research, internships, campus activities, volunteering that you've done, maybe personal projects that you've taken on. We want a little brief overview of those. And then we sort of end up with this call to action. So, what are those goals that you have? What are you hoping to do next, whether that's an internship or job? Um, and I really encourage you to add a thoughtful question for the employer. So, ending all of this on a question that allows the employer then to engage with you and continue the conversation. So, it's really important to do your research on these employers, showcase your enthusiasm, and it can be really, really important to make sure that you've done your research. So, we do have some resources that you can do that with. In here, we have linked our spreadsheet for fair employers, our Notion site. We also have the information on Handshake in the fair area. So really making sure that you're excited to be talking with them. We want that to come through as you're speaking with them. So make sure that you have, good eye contact. That you're showing that positivity, handshake, if they're open to that. Some people are still kind of iffy on handshakes since the pandemic, but again, just being friendly and welcoming goes a long way. So, as you're crafting your elevator pitch, remember that stories are very memorable, even if they're really short. We do want to make sure that they remember you. They're going to be meeting a lot of people over the 3 hours of the fair. So, how do you stand out? We want to have you organize your elevator pitch around your past, present, and future goals. That can be a good way to create some structure. 3 to 4 sentence story, that you are going over. Um, Maybe you want to mention a very specific project or assignment that you've worked on, or maybe something that you did at an internship or job recently that is relevant to their organization. But again, we're keeping this short, 30 to 60 seconds, being clear and concise, tailoring it to your audience. So again, think about the employers that you're talking to. What would matter to them? What is going to stand out to them and their needs? And then practice and refine. So there are a couple of different ways that you can practice. I'll share with you some of our internship prep events. But if you aren't able to attend those, I would also encourage you to just get out your phone or open some sort of video recording on your laptop and just for you, record the sound of your voice, doing the elevator pitch to hear how you're sounding back to yourself. If for some reason you can't practice with another person, but maybe it would also be good to practice with friends. So from here, I think it's important for us to take a look at a couple of examples. So these are pretty basic. I think that there is other information that could potentially be added, but at a baseline, these are really strong introductory statements. So, for example, hi, my name is Jane, and I'm a sophomore majoring in political science at American University. I'm actively involved in the Kennedy Political Union, where I engage in political discourse and event planning. And I'm also a member of Alpha Phi Omega, the community service fraternity on campus. I'm passionate about sustainability and environmental advocacy, and I'm eager to pursue a career in these fields. I'm particularly interested in learning more about the internships at the EPA because I believe the EPA's commitment to environmental sustainability aligns perfectly with my career goals. What skills are necessary to be successful in this industry? So there's Jane's introduction to herself, hitting on those major points that we went over. So that's just one potential option. Next, we have Timothy. So, hello, I'm Timothy. I'm a graduating senior majoring in public relations and strategic communication and minoring in data science. During my time at American University, I've gotten involved with the Public Relations Student Society of America, our student-run public relations firm SOC3, and this summer I interned with a digital marketing company on their marketing analytics team. The intersection of storytelling and data is where I hope to focus my career. I looked at Ampersand's website, and your emphasis on data-driven solutions for TV advertising really interests me. I would like to learn more about early career roles at your organization. What are the ideal skills or qualities that you're looking for in candidates? Now, both of these again ended with questions that allows the recruiter to now take on the conversation. Again, hopefully opening this to back and forth conversation with the recruiter. So, some common mistakes to avoid: being too vague or generic. So, if you just walk up to someone and say, "What kind of jobs do you have at your organization?" This shows that someone didn't do their research. And potentially you're talking to someone that has opportunities that aren't going to be of interest to you. Another potential pitfall to avoid, being too pushy and overloading with information. You don't need to tell them every single thing that you've done while in college. Again, we want like those top 2 or 3 things that are really going to grab their attention. And part of it too is if you have your resume with you, which I highly encourage, then you won't have to go through listing all of it. You'll be able to hand them a copy of your resume so they have that on record. But we want the really, really big things to catch their attention. That way they're like, ooh, I need to keep a hold of this resume. Another issue could be lack of enthusiasm, right? You're going to this event. We know you want to be there. So making sure that you are excited and enthusiastic to be talking with them. So make sure that you aren't mumbling through what you're trying to say. I know sometimes when we're nervous, we can talk really fast, or it can be loud sometimes at the career fair. So making sure that you know are speaking with confidence so they can hear you. Um, and sometimes it's just, kind of giving yourself a little pep talk, or if you need a pep talk, come and talk to us at the student resource area. There will be a resource area for students at the fair, and we'd be happy to talk with you and even go over your elevator pitch that day if you need it. Because one of the biggest things is just not practicing enough. It can be hard to talk about ourselves, and we want to make sure that you feel comfortable with that because it's not about being perfect, it's about being comfortable and confident. So, as you're approaching employers, some things to keep in mind. The preparation. So before you even get to the fair, again, over the next few days, research those companies and organizations attending. Again, that information can be found in Handshake or our Notion website page that you can use filters on to find information. Preparing a tailored elevator pitch. So when you think of, okay, I've got my top 5 organizations I know I want to talk to, make sure you've thought about what do I want to share with each of them that is going to be most relevant to their organization or needs. And dress to impress. I think that that also adds a boost of confidence for people when they're making sure that they are um, dressed professionally and adds a layer of confidence. So either business professional or business casual, but making sure that you are in something that you feel confident in. Then your strategy. So when you are actually approaching that table, make sure that you introduce yourself confidently. Strong voice, handshake, make sure that you're making eye contact with people. So I think that that's something like it can be really nerve-wracking to, you don't need to stare anyone down. But we want you to have that connection. So make sure that you're looking at the person. Um, Using your elevator pitch effectively. Again, this kind of goes back to that preparation of making sure that you are sharing things that would be relevant to that organization. And thinking of those thoughtful questions. That actually is something that really makes people stand out because that's what recruiters are going to remember. Oh, that person that asked me a really good question. Oh, I put a note on their resume after they left, and they go back and look at those candidates. And practice, practice, practice. The more like comfortable you are with this, the easier that it is. Career fairs, networking events, they're not something we do all the time. So it's one of those things, it's not something we naturally gravitate towards, are these interactions. So practicing them is really important. So, some sample questions you could ask employers. How did you start in this industry? What skills are necessary to be successful in this industry? What classes might I take now to be better prepared for a career in your field? This can be a really great question for students that are early in college. That way, if there's something that really interests you, you know maybe some things that you need to take in the future to be competitive in that field. What are the biggest trends affecting your field right now? What are some of the biggest challenges facing your industry? And what are the ideal skills or experiences you're looking for in candidates? When you're asking that question, it can be one of those things that helps you as you further prepare applications. Because while we hope that you have a resume with you to give to recruiters, I do encourage you, learn what they want emphasized in their applications, and that way you can tailor those applications better. So I think that that's a very helpful thing that's going to give you good insight as you move forward. Um, All right, some things they might ask you. Again, this is a conversation back and forth. So they may ask, what types of things are you looking for? Is it an internship? Is it a job? What type of experience? So is it something to further your skills doing something particular to your major? Is it applying a certain skill that you've been developing outside of the classroom? What is a skill you want to further develop in this opportunity? Why did you choose your major? So again, some of the things, whether it's a very direct major to what you're talking to the employer about, or maybe it's about what are the transferable things about it. So sometimes when we have more liberal arts related majors like psychology or English or history, how do you want to apply those in a professional environment? Um, Thinking about that and how you would talk to an employer about that can be helpful, especially if maybe it's not a direct, type of profession. Like if someone was majoring in accounting, right? Being an accountant, that's pretty direct. Whereas some other majors, it's about applying those skills and abilities in a variety of ways. They might ask you if you're involved in any campus activities. Maybe that's not something that you shared yet in your elevator pitch. Maybe you focused on some internships that you've had, or your classes that you've taken that are relevant to the role. So they might want to know a little bit more about what you're involved with. What's something that you like to do in your free time? Maybe they're trying to get to know you more so as a person. Um, so just kind of being aware of like, oh, what types of hobbies do I want to share or activities? And then do you have a dream job or career, or what is like your future long-term goal? They may be interested in knowing that to kind of see if there are potential paths within their organization, or kind of early roles that could lead to something later. So in conclusion, basics, practice that pitch. Again, 30 to 60 seconds. You do not have to talk for a whole minute. That is okay. I think some of our examples, even that we shared, were a little on the shorter side. That again is okay. You do want to make sure as much as possible that they can be tailored to the employers that you want to be talking to. You may run into employers that you didn't plan on talking to. So maybe also thinking of something that might be a little flexible as you're walking around the fair. And then organize things as a story, or provide steps of your career. Again, that past, present, future, or beginning, middle, end of certain activities or accomplishments. Make sure that you're researching those employers. I think that that makes everything easier for you is when you really know who you're talking to and what those opportunities are. You could even be more specific and look at, and I hope you do, their careers page. What are maybe some of the jobs that are open right now? You could actually ask them really specific questions even, and that's definitely gonna make an impression. So, some final tips: be polite and respectful. Show genuine interest as you're talking with them. Again, they are excited to be there. We want to see that you're excited to be there, to just create a positive interaction. And then something that a lot of students don't do, but again, will make you stand out: following up after the fair. So, whether that is you grabbed a business card and now you have their email, or you look them up on LinkedIn, somehow doing some sort of follow-up to thank them for their interaction with you at the fair. And if there were things that you applied to, letting them know that, because recruiters want to be able to take action on candidates. So make sure that you follow up in some way, even if it is just to say thank you. That's huge, and people don't do that. So When can you practice this with someone from the Career Center? So you can practice your pitch either at our virtual resume station, which is Monday, from 2 to 5 p.m. on Zoom. The information for that is going to be in Handshake, so you'll be able to access the Zoom room from there. So join us if you want to go over that. Briefly, and then we can take a quick look at your resume. Or we do have our in-person resume station on Tuesday from 1 to 4 p.m. in the AU Career Center. So that's going to be on the fifth floor of Butler. We're the only office on the fifth floor. So fifth floor of Butler, Tuesday, April 1st, from 1 to 4. All right. So we hope that you're going to come to the fair Wednesday, April 2nd. That is going to be from 1 to 4 p.m. in Bender Arena. Again, Wednesday, April 2nd, 1 to 4 p.m. in Bender Arena. Thank you so much for your time today, and we hope to see you at the fair. Have a good one. Bye.